but I was writing about a female character, and I wanted to show how her body and her sense of herself changes from teenagehood through to menopause. There are a lot of presumptions in that. I don't know how it feels to be female and what happens to the female body. So even on that level, just the simple level of writing a female character, I realized I was laying myself open to a whole lot of, questions, assessments that really made me feel kind of vulnerable.
And one of the things that really struck me about this book is how well you braid the personal and the deeply intimate and the family story together. And it's clearly an allegory for the nation too, but that's done so lightly. And I kind of wonder if you could talk about that, how you braid the themes into the story and what sorts of challenges you faced in doing that.
If you really start thinking about where you could go wrong before you start writing, you'll silence and paralyze yourself. And I mean, that's true for most of us, I guess. I always kind of take the pressure off by mentally assuring myself that maybe no one else is ever going to read this, which is always, a plausible possibility.
A likelihood.
Well, I've written failed novels. I'm sure, many of us have. So there is always that possibility. So you've got to proceed as if, well, no one's ever going to read this. I'm sitting in my room and I give myself the freedom to express myself in whatever way I choose. It's only towards the end of that process that you kind of start to narrow down on what is hopefully by then a certainty that other people will be reading this. And you start to imagine how you could be held to account or questioned on various subjects. So yeah, these questions arise whatever one's novel is. And I mean, they don't always arise in the obvious ways. I mean, in this book, have a central character who's female. And I wanted, one of the themes of the book, one of the most important ones for me is time and the passage of time. And I wanted to show how time affects people, not only, on a big national level, but also on a small, intimate, personal level. So I could have written about the male body and what it goes through as it ages, because I happen to have done quite a lot of research in my own life by living it. But I was writing about a female character, and I wanted to show how her body and her sense of herself changes from teenagehood through to menopause. There are a lot of presumptions in that. I don't know how it feels to be female and what happens to the female body. So even on that level, just the simple level of writing a female character, I realized I was laying myself open to a whole lot of, questions, assessments that really made me feel kind of vulnerable. So yeah, on a historical level, on a political level, but also on a personal level, you're always sort of putting yourself on the line. And I guess you just have to do the very best you can, which is to say, I'm prepared to defend myself, I hope, on every point that I've raised or everything that I've covered.
If you've enjoyed the conversation that you just heard, do subscribe to our channel for much more.